So, just to be clear, your plan is to do 2 and 3 today and 4 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Start saying.
Standing committees. Each house begins to set up permit panels which are known as standing committees. Standing committees are permit groups to which all similar bills are sent to. In 1794, there were more than 300 committees in each chamber. Today there is 19 standing committees in the House and 17 in the Senate. The Speaker of the House or the President of the Senate is responsible for assigning bills to the appropriate standing committee.
So, what is the major purpose of having committees in these 2 houses?
Well, the committees are the ones that look over the bills, and pretty much in the book it seems like the committees do most of the work, because there's committees in the Senate and the House, so it seems like, well, in my section they even talk about how the committees have subcommittees, so there's a lot of committees.
So you're saying, in your mind, it has to do with a way to divide the labor to address the workload associated with those bills?
Yeah, because it also says that they have like 1,000 bills that they get in every day, so of course they're not going to be able to handle all of that.
As one body?
Yeah.
Committee assignments. The number of committees have varied over the years. There are 20 standing committees in the House, 4 in the Joint Committee, and 17 in the Senate. Each House has 10 to 75 members, and each Senate committee has 14 to 20 representatives. The chairman of each standing committee is chosen according to the seniority rule. The members of each standing committee are formally elected by the floor at the beginning of each term of Congress. Each standing committee is divided into subcommittees. Now there are some 150 subcommittees in the 2 houses, 70 in the Senate and 80 in the House.
And so do members of the House or Senate, do they serve on all those committees, or how would you know which committee, if any, you get to serve on, if I was a representative or if I was a senator?
You're wondering which committee you think you should serve on?
Yeah, I mean, how would I know which of those committees I'm supposed to be on?
Well, they have different committees. I think the other one, but
Permit committees of the Congress. House standing committees. Agriculture, Appropriation, Armed Forces, Budget, Education, and the Workplace, Energy and Concerns, Ethics, Financial Services, Foreign Affairs, Small Businesses, and all that.
so these are just all the committees that, well, some of the committees that they have for like each kind of subject, or kind of.
And that's for the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
And which, I'm just curious, in your reading, which of those do you think would you want to serve on? Is there a top 3 or a top 5 list that you would want to be on for any reason?
Probably the budget, because that's like a big deal, of course. Foreign affairs too.
Well, why Foreign Affairs?
For the trade, because we don't get everything here in the United States too. We have to talk with people around the world. It's like mingling with people. So I could say like, hey, you need help from one place, you need help from another. We all have to work together. Yeah, so my point.
Ways and Means is one of the top 5 or so, the leading committees, right? So what is Ways and Means, and why is it important? I'm scared.
Just to be clear, you're referencing what the textbook said as a quote-unquote leading committee?
Yeah.
In the book it says Ways and Means is the leading widen. I'm not really sure what it means by ways and means. I'm guessing how they do things in certain ways.
Let me give you an easy way to remember ways and means. You know, congressmen and senators, they're always looking to see how they can spend more money, right? Yeah. So what is the way and the means that they're going to be able to do that? And that refers to where is the money coming from. So if you're sitting on the Ways and Means Committee, you're the one who decides where are you going to get the money. So if you're sitting on that committee and you have some special interest groups which have given you money for your campaign, you're going to try and make it as painless as possible for the people that what? Have helped to support you, right? And these are also the guys who oversee the IRS. They overlook the tax code. They are the ones who can rewrite and craft new laws relating to where tax revenue is going to be coming from. Powerful committee? Oh yeah. Can you trade favors if you're sitting on the Ways and Means Committee? Oh yeah.
And these are the joint committees of Congress, the joint economic, joint library, joint printing, and joint taxation.
Noemi, when you say joint, what do you mean?
They're like working together.
Who's working together?
The Congress,
Well, like the House and
the House.
House and the Senate together, right? Good.
And these are just all the Senate standing committees, so this is different. Well, actually, yeah, they're a little different from the House committees, the House standing committees. So there's, see, they have Veterans Affairs. I don't think they had that on the other one. Nutrition and forestry. So.
What would be another one that you saw in both the House and the Senate? If the Ways and Means Committee is very powerful, there's one that's arguably even more powerful. What would that be?
Rules and Administration.
Okay, well, yes, let me back that up. In the House of Representatives, the Rules Committee is the most powerful committee. You're right. But we were talking money. So if the Ways and Means Committee is powerful, what other committee that goes hand in glove? If the Ways and Means Committee is the left hand, what's going to be the right hand? Okay, budget is important. They certainly are the ones who negotiate about how they're going to, who's going to get what and how they're going to do all that. But there's one who actually allocates the dollars. It's not, no. One of them in both of the House and the Senate is the one who allocates the dollars. And this is one, if you can get on that committee, you can really do some back scratching. People will be willing to do you all sorts of political favors.
Banking and
No,
Budget?
finance.
no,
Small business?
Salary.
Homeland Security and Government Affairs.
no.
The budget?
Salary.
I was just good down.
No. Think about it. Ways and Means is the taxing. That's where's the money coming from. The other hand would be where's the money going. So that would be the
Finance.
Environmental and public works.
one word,
Finance. Appropriation.
appropriation. There you go.
Oh, then
No way.
The House Rules Committee. In the lower house, the House Committee on the Rules is sometimes called the traffic cop. This committee manages the flow of the bills for action by the full House by scheduling for the floor consideration. Since the Senate has less formal organization, the majority floor leader controls the appearance of the bills on the floor. The the House Rules Committee is one of the most powerful committees of the House.
And arguably, it is the most powerful because they're the ones who either breathe life or death into a bill in the House, on the House side. And who's in charge of the Rules Committee? It's the Speaker of the House.
Select the committees. Select the committees are special groups set up for specific purposes and for a limited period whose members are appointed by the Speaker or the President of the Senate. A selected committee conducts especially important investigations, for example, the Senate Watergate Committee in 1973.
Okay, that's pretty old. What are some more recent select committees that have been set up to investigate what they felt were important issues? Think even in your brief history of life, what's come around that's been significant? It's really got the legislative branch involved. I know you guys were young, but it's made a huge impact on how we operate here in the United States. 9/11, definitely, that was a huge one, right? In fact, the whole Patriot Act, how the NSA and all these other organizations can listen in on all your Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, texting, phone, emails, all that stemmed from what? What happened at 9/11 and the findings from that select committee.
A joint committee is one composed of members from both houses and it is organized to deal with issues and comments considered. Some are permanent, such as the Joint Committee on the Library of Congress. Others are temporary. Conference committees are temporary committees organized to resolve differences in similar bills passed in both houses and to produce a compromise bill acceptable to both houses.
Will you explain that whole process a little bit more so we're all on the same page how that works? Because this is really, really important to understand this.
Well, of course, it'd be the House and the Senate working together. But, if they look over, like, a certain issue together and go over and, like, see what they have to, like, fix or what they have to put in, depending on everything.
Because in order for a bill to become law, the exact same language has to be used in the House as well as the Senate. Exact same wording. So if you have, maybe a bill was brought up in the Senate and another one in the House that dealt with the same issue, but through the process of amendments and debates and discussions, that bill morphed into something a little different. Now they're similar, but until they have what? The exact same language, you cannot take it to the next step, which is to ship it down to the President to either sign into law or to veto. So these joint committees, you get, if it's close, then you can get some from each side to come together, they meet in a room, they see if they can find common ground, compromise, and get the same language. If they think they've got it, then they take that new creature back to both sides and they have to vote on it again. If that passes, then they can take it to the President for signature or veto.
Well, don't if, like, the House and the Senate don't agree on it, they don't both agree on, like, some of what's put in there, then it has to go back, and then they have to look at it again.
Yeah. That's exactly right, Mia. You can see why most bills don't ever become what? Laws. It's a big process. And why is that? The Founding Fathers thought that it has to be an awfully good law to beat no law at all. Let me say that one more time. It has to be an awfully good law to beat no law at all.
Do you want me to, like...
Yeah, kill that and then...